What's up, everybody? It's me, Bryson Booker, and I'm back for part 3, and I gotta charge my battery, so hold on. Anyway, welcome back to part 3 of my VHS collection, and oh look, I got a new TV. It's definitely bigger than the one that you saw in the last 2 videos. I literally just got that yesterday. It's a nice TV. Anyway, the TV's not the main focus. What's going to be watched on the TV is the main focus. So we're going to be talking about my VHS collection. This is part 3. So if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, that's where I highlight this bottom section, that section, this section over here, as well as those 2 sections down there of tapes. So if you missed part 1 and part 2, I would suggest you go watch those before you watch part 3. But anyway, let's just get going here. So, another childhood classic that I have here is Stuart Little 2. I actually have both Stuart Littles, at least both theatrical films of Stuart Little. So I have Stuart Little 2 from 2002 and Stuart Little from 1999. So I have both Stuart Littles. The third Stuart Little, which they just released to video, they didn't release that one in theaters. I don't have that one because I don't really like that one. And I think, to me, the first 2 movies are the best. Another one I got here is Madeline, based on the children's book, which was also based on a TV show and a series of movies. So this is the first Madeline, released in 1998, and then they made a sequel. I forget what the sequel is called, but this is a pretty good film. Disney Pixar's Toy Story 2. Now, the funny thing about this is I actually have the original Toy Story, but it's at my grandma's house, so I eventually have to go over to her house and get my Toy Story back, as well as my Finding Nemo. I also have Finding Nemo, but obviously it's not here at the moment. It's at grandma's house. So Grandma, you got my Toy Story and my Finding Nemo. I gotta go get those from you. But anyway, this is I would say, the better Toy Story out of the let's see, 3 of them that they made. I think this is one of my favorites. So this is a great movie. It also has bonus features at the end, so you get some, I think you get a sing-along with Woody, and then you get a Pixar short as well. So great tape, great movie. What can I say? It's Toy Story, people. This next movie you may or may have not heard of, but it's Disney's Dinosaurs. This was released in 2000, and it's honestly a great CGI masterpiece from Disney. I used to be really obsessed with dinosaurs when I was younger, and so obviously, I guess my mom or whoever thought it would be great for me to have this movie. And I really didn't get it at all. I actually thought it was boring as a kid, and when I was a kid, which makes sense because it has a moral at the end of it. But now, as I look back on this movie, it's a very beautiful movie and has a very beautiful story, and also a very beautiful soundtrack. So, Dinosaurs from Disney, great movie. This is one of those tapes that I've had literally since childhood. So it is a little old, as you can see, but still plays great. These are my only Disney movies, guys. So, like I told you all before, I'm not really a big Disney fan, but I do have a couple of their movies because, Disney is always great sometimes. This is an extremely goofy movie. This was released in 2000, obviously a sequel to the original 1995 classic, A Goofy Movie. Just without the cheesy songs that they put in A Goofy Movie. Basically, this movie highlights when Max goes off to college. Goofy's like, oh man, I want to see my son again. So Goofy goes to college with Max, and chaos ensues there. So this is a great movie, great sequel. I would say it's not as good as the original Goofy movie, but I mean, it's definitely a close contender. At the end of it, you have this bonus program called Kids' Goofiest Jokes. The jokes are not that funny. Let me just spoil that for you right now. The jokes are not really funny at all, but it's just there you go. This is another Disney movie. Again, this one you may or may not remember. This is Doug's first movie. Now, Doug was a series that originally aired on Nickelodeon. It was one of the first Nicktoons that aired in 1991. Nickelodeon kind of kicked it to the curb around 94, and Disney picked it up. So Jim Jenkins basically took his idea and brought it to Disney, and Disney ran with it on their Saturday morning block, Disney's One Saturday Morning on ABC. And so I guess the series got so popular on Disney that they decided to make a movie out of it, so they did in 1999. This movie is decent. It's not a great movie, but it's an okay movie, if you know what I mean by that. And then again, Disney's Doug was not a great series, but it was an okay one. It's not as good as the original Nickelodeon Doug, but it's okay. This movie is okay. At the end of it, you get kind of a behind-the-scenes Doug-umentary that tells you about the series and the creator. I think this is one of my favorite Disney movies, Fantasia 2000. I recently watched this again, I think about like 2-3 months ago. Probably during, I think it was spring break when I watched this again. But this is just a great film. If you've seen the original Fantasia, you know what this is, you know. Beautiful animation set to beautiful music. And Fantasia 2000 pretty much continues that tradition. I want the original Fantasia. I have yet to own it. I have to look for it. But this is the version that was released in 1999. And finally here we have Disney's Tarzan. Again, another classic featuring music by the one, the only, Phil Collins, people. You gotta love him. At the end of it, you also get some behind-the-scenes features. You get the Phil Collins. Let me see. You get Phil Collins and NSYNC that sing a song from the film, as well as another little music video at the end of the film there. So that's a great movie. Moving on to the other side, if my cord will stretch all the way. Hold on a second. Okay, this will have to do. Alright, this is the Nickelodeon side, the DreamWorks side, and then just some miscellaneous films that we have here. Alright, so this is Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, the movie. This was before the animated series on Nickelodeon, so obviously this film is a classic. If you haven't seen this film, definitely recommend it. It's for kids and adults alike. So adults, don't diss the kids movies if you haven't seen them. This movie is recently celebrating an anniversary. This movie is celebrating 20 years. It's the Rugrats movie, the feature-length hit movie. Now, Nickelodeon actually did something pretty unique this year. They re-released this VHS tape on, well, VHS. But guys, this is the original tape from 1999. This is not the reissue. This is the actual original tape. And this also comes with a special cat dog short before the film begins. But yes, guys, this is the original tape. This is not the reissue. And it's funny because they made the reissue look exactly like the original, which may fool some people, but this is the original tape. And with the feature-length film, you always got to have its sequel, right? So this is Rugrats in Paris, the movie, released in 2000. Again, what can I say? Great movie, great characters, great story. Oh, you also get a music video at the end of it, Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men. Really has no relation with Rugrats or the film itself. It's just something I guess they wanted to put on there. Now this film is actually Nickelodeon's first film. This was released in 1996. It's Harriet the Spy, starring Michelle, what's her name? Michelle Tresher or something. Here we go. Michelle Trachtenberg, as well as Rosie O'Donnell. It features 2 Rugrats music videos, Rugrats Rock and Rugrats Rap. I'm going to tell you right now, Rugrats Rap is better than Rugrats Rock. And I'm not saying that just because I'm black. I'm serious. Rugrats Rap is so much better. If I can get it back in there. Here we go. This is a great movie right here. This is DreamWorks' The Prince of Egypt. I love this movie. It's a very great movie. The tape is kind of in a bad condition, and that's because I kind of got it hand-me-down. But it's a great film either way. And I want to get the sequel that they made It's not technically a sequel, but it's a film like The Prince of Egypt. It's called Joseph, the King of Dreams. That was made in 2000. This film was made in 1998. Oh boy, another anniversary there. So this film is also celebrating 20 years. Can you believe it? Great movie, awesome soundtrack. I would encourage you to listen to the soundtrack as well as the movie. All 3 soundtracks. I think they made 3 soundtracks for that movie. But that's how great it was, guys. The next one is a DreamWorks ripoff of Disney's A Bug's Life. So this is Ants, and I think the ironic thing about this one is Ants came out before Bug's Life. So Ants came out in 1999, basically a film about ants. This is and you know the way that they live their life and how one ant named Z saves his colony from being destroyed. Okay, you know, doing this with one hand is kind of pitiful. All right, here we go. The next one I have is Small Soldiers. Now this film kind of has some goods and some bads in it. You know, a lot of people like this film. A lot of people don't like this film. Is it a ripoff of Toy Story? Kinda. You know, it's basically about these military toys who, and their alien toy counterparts, who basically save the world slightly. Again, I always make fun of this movie every time I take it out and say that the only good thing that this movie had going for it was the Burger King ad for the Rodeo Burger. I don't know if you guys remember the Rodeo Burger from Burger King. You know, it was a barbecue jalapeno burger. And they used Small Soldiers to advertise that. I think that's the only good thing that it had going for it. But it's a decent film. Now, this is one of my favorite films to play at Christmas time. This is The Muppets Christmas Carol, released in 1992 from Disney. And Jim Henson Home Entertainment. What can I say? It's basically a Christmas Carol Muppet style. Obviously narrated by Gonzo and Rizzo the Rat. This is a classic. I love this one. And then, man, if you guys didn't see this one coming, then I just don't know. What's the point of even showing you this collection? This is Space Jam, starring Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. Enough said. I think everybody knows about Space Jam. If you don't, you might want to watch it. Just saying. But I think most people who are seeing this video probably know what Space Jam is. But some of you may not know what this one is. This is Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Basically, Arnold Schwarzenegger races and almost loses his life just to get his son a toy that he wants. This is a great movie. It also stars Sinbad and Phil Hartman. It's a great movie there. And that's it, guys. That is my 2018 VHS collection. Now, the only videos I did not show you was my music videos, and I do have a couple of music videos, and I'm going to do those in a separate video because I think they deserve a separate video. So this is all my movies and cartoons on VHS. Here's all my setup, my whole room set up there, and thank you for watching.